Kilo 1 November Kilo X-ray here, soon to be Zebra Sierra 6 / Kilo 1 November Kilo X-ray. As soon as I get my South African guest permit for operating, this is my antenna mast. And you can tell there's 3 different sizes of pipe. Each one fits inside the other. Or that one fits inside the big one, this one fits inside that one. Over the next few days, these are going to be assembled and welded. We're going to put some angle iron at the top of the top section, and that's going to be a cross arm or a yard arm, if you will. I'm going to attach pulleys on either end of it. It's probably going to be 5 or 6 feet long, so it'll be a little bit of a standoff action. There's also going to be a short piece of angle further down, probably at the bottom of the top section, where it joins this one, and that will have some holes put in it where we can attach our guy support wires. Again, hopefully over the next week or so, we will be able to have this standing up. We're talking about a couple of different methods of putting the mast up. One option is to have a couple feet of it in the ground. Another option we're talking about is some nice heavy pieces of channel or angle iron, spaced big enough for the 100mm piece of pipe, and do a crank up pivot thing. But I want to have it so that we don't actually have to pivot it down and very much, because this is going to be one heavy mast. This is heavy walled metal. It's going to be very strong. It will still have to be guyed though, because 3 6mm pieces, by the time you figure a foot each of sticking inside to have it welded, we're probably, that's 18 meters, drop maybe a meter to allow for all the welding. And you're still looking at 17 meters, which comes out to about 50 feet. So this is going to be a very tall tower, and I think that is going to work quite nicely. Anyway, that's it for now. We'll be back with more updates later. See ya. K1NKX, clear. Hey, K1NKX here. Kilo 1, November Kilo X-ray. Yes, it spells Kings. I have to cut about 40 of these little things. These are spacers for ladder line that I'm going to make myself, since store-bought ladder line is not available here in South Africa, or at least where I'm at. So we have to make our own. According to research I've done, I can use 12 gauge wire, which is a little over 2 millimeters, which I've got 2.5mm wire, which actually works out just fine, because 12 gauge wires at 1 3/4 spacing, these are 2 inches, at 1 3/4 spacing is right in between 390 something and 480 or 460, so 2.5mm, 1 3/4 apart should get me right near 450 ohms impedance for my ladder line. This is going to be the matching system for the ZS6BKW Dipole Antenna, which I'm actually going to run as an inverted V. And I showed you out there in the yard where the tower is going to go, and the tower is actually laying in 3 pieces in the courtyard right now. We have to get that going. Anyway, I'm going to cut a few of these pipes and let you follow along. Be right back in a minute. Yeah, it's a real complicated process. I have this set for just a little over 5 centimeters, which is right at 2 inches. So I can get a repeatable distance every single time. And just so you know, I'll just pick a random pipe out of here. Yeah. I haven't deburred them or anything, but that is not bad. Cutting pretty square, considering it's an old guy cutting by hand. I don't know if you can see that or not. That doesn't look too bad at all. I'm so I finally figured out how to cut in a straight line. How about that? And anyway, just pull this out here. Get the knee up there to hold it in place. Boom! Right in the bucket. Pull the next one out. And some of you might be saying, well, why doesn't he use a power miter saw? Well, I don't have a power miter saw, but I do have a handheld miter saw. I've got manual tools. We'll do one more here. Yeah, that is nice and straight. And I didn't have to wait till I got to the end of the pipe before I could actually get a straight cut. Okay, my backer moved on me. Alright, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, there's 10 or 11 in there. I got about 37 or 38 more to go. I'll be back in a little while. Hey there, I'm back. Well, I kind of overshot my mark. I actually got about 49 of these. I only need about 39. So we're all done. I still got this much pipe left. And just pulling some random ones out of the bucket here. You know, not allowing for the fact that I haven't, I mean, you know, that's not bad. It's not perfect, but it ain't bad. Considering everything was cut by hand here, by an old guy with a hacksaw. You know, that's not bad. That's typical. I mean, it was pretty much the whole run. Pull out some other ones here. That's off a little bit. Haven't deburred them, but still not bad. Not bad. You can still see a little daylight under the other side here, but you know, we can live with that. The airwaves aren't going to care. That's almost dead flat. The radio waves aren't going to care. And again, this is going to be the ladder line that goes up to the center fed antenna dipole. Oh, sorry. But so we're all done. And you know, if it's not a perfect on the length of the tube, that doesn't matter, because I'm going to be doing notches on either side. Then I can, the critical part is the distance. That's what we're looking for. The critical part is just to get the distance at roughly, well, right at 1 3/4 inches. And that'll put me right in the ballpark, very close to 450 ohms impedance on the feed line. And then there will be a RF choke. I forget what the exact name of it, but just it's going to be 6 coils of coax cable in about a 4-inch circle, just taped together, and let it run from there. We're going to see how it works. It worked just fine. Everybody that I have talked to that has one of these antennas says they love it. Again, resonant on 40 meters, 20 meters, 17 meters. They said 12 meters in the top half of 6, and with a tuner you can get 80, and I think it was already 80, 80 and 15, all of 10 and 6 with a tuner. But without the tuner, you're still getting less than 2 to 1 SWR on the 5 resonant frequencies, and I generally only use 40 and 20 anyway, so it's not going to really matter. So I'm going to stop babbling. This is it for now. I'll be back when we start the next part of the process. I'm going to have to do a little pondering exactly how I'm going to notch these, but I'll let you in on the secret when I get to it. Later.